Conversation about whether or not this would be an upset at all. You know, XIA have just been looking phenomenal. Cruz and Fox taking a lot of damage early on there in A main. And of course, with both teams playing the same compositions that they ran yesterday, the teams have had an opportunity to prep. Maybe they weren't sure that this was going to be in the map pool because it was neither team's pick, but they must have had some decent idea, with both teams being very comfortable on this map.
I did like the way that XIA was playing this map the other day.
Turret to take contact here with Yampi, push up close, Frenzy in hand.
I mean, this could be critical though. I mean, I've seen numerous times this Jet player, and Yampi's dashes, they haven't been great in past times. He's going to try and swing deep into it. I have no idea what the disengage plan was there, but maybe just anticipating that it was just a single player lurking.
Yeah, it's good awareness from XIA. I mean, they run the same kind of trap play themselves. They know if there's a turret on that angle, there's a possibility of somebody holding close with a Frenzy or a short. And here's a flash re-clear, grabbing that information in A. They don't know where they are right now. I mean, if B main is clear with a recon dart, now they've got a decent idea that this is a catwalk push, but XIA, they're really ticking the time down right now.
They truly are. Link, the pressure's on. Paranoia has to play up close around this corner. He still gets the one, but the trade eventually there. Now Scream back to the site, trying to anchor with the support of his team. A quick little tap of the heads, and he's finding it. Spamming them through the walls. Left down to the 1v1. He is weak. The time running low, but what a shot.
One as well, but I mean, what are these shots? So precise, gorgeous crosshair placement as well.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they can do to punish him. They need to be pushing deep into Generator, but they're scared. And of course they are.
Scream at the opposition.
Double Marshall here. It's not quite the double op, but it'll do for round 2. And both of these teams are incredibly comfortable on this map. I think you really, though, you are looking for XIA to be able to rack up those round wins on their defense side.
Yeah.
So I think Team Liquid have some level of psychological advantage, you could argue, by starting out here on, you know, forcing XIA onto the attack.
Yeah.
It's not that they've looked bad there, it's just that the composition trends itself more defensively focused, I think.
Yeah, compounds the strengths a bit more. Dash across, that's going to be the dart also to try and supplement it. Shock dart's in play, and that is maximum damage being done. The lane push shut down before it can even get started. That's a Prime Gaming flawless.
To the next. And this was pretty much just a dismantling, but it's going to give you some idea of the kind of pace that XIA can play with on some of these B hits and what the Team Liquid protocols are going to be. Hold positions that are slightly further forward.
Sure.
And one of the things that Optic was really struggling with against XIA when they were defending was re-clearing areas of the map, which we've already seen from Liquid.
And this is a deep push from Yampi. All the way around, just wants to hold that long sight line and give his team information of any players that might be lurking. Maybe getting a pick, you know, it's difficult to tell here. He's playing on the different elevation, and for XIA, bit of spam into mid.
I think they'll have a pretty good idea of whereabouts Yampi is playing, just because that recon dart was able to have the full 3 pulses in mid. And they've smoked it off. Cruz is kind of holding a position right now where his job is just to wait for the rest of his team. This looks like it's going to be a prod into Catwalk, and then maybe a return back to a B split?
It seems that way, yeah.
Maybe they're just going to commit to the cat push now, actually.
Well, I think they want to clear utility and pull rotations, right?
Yeah, but they're still kind of going for that 1-3-1 default, and there's only 40 seconds left. Either site they hit, there's going to be a player miles away that has to find value on a lurk. And here we go, they're going for a B split, which leaves Fox miles away from the action.
Wall in mid, door's going to get bursted down, and B main is in control right now. What a lovely nade. Disrupts the push. The play's still coming through. Now to Nanoswarm, 20 seconds remaining, and it is critical that you win out these fights. Zooms across from the corner, and Navira's still able to get the 2, and what a flash. Disruption, not even letting them get down onto the site, the XIA players. It is so scrappy, but they are just barely clawing it out.
These are the swings from Sushi Boys, though, that are making the difference. He's driving a Ferrari out there. Just, whoom, he's around the corner.
My Vandal doesn't do that.
I mean, I don't sprint that quick. I'm scared when I take these fights, and I'm playing against, you know, bad players in ranked. He's playing against some real elite tier players from EMEA right now, and there is disrespect coming out from XIA. They know they're good enough to get away with stuff like that.
Looking to prove it here. 1v2 here for Link, but time was running far too low. Sushi Boys.
That hasn't really been a big meta-relying thing that they've been leaning on.
Gotta be the jiggle peak, right? You gotta be aware of this one. Navira holding it down.
The turret, though, is so good because if you swing to break this turret, which you have to at some point, Navera's on it. It's going to block bullets.
Honestly, yeah, it's a bit of a bodyguard in a weird sense. Door gets shut.
And Yampy, in the meantime, is in wine. But it certainly looks like Navera's operator is going to be the one doing the business.
Knife doesn't, I believe, tag too much. Obviously, Scream sent that from across the map looking for information. And yep, Surf tries to take the duel.
Now, Drone is currently coming in through Catwalk, and Fox doesn't see anything. So they're expecting with that pick over towards B, they can maneuver and manipulate.
They're going to go for the hard pivot here. I mean, 50 seconds remaining. Up Cat, they have not cleared through main.
Well, they're not even going to send anybody through main. And honestly, it's a bit of an awkward position for Yampy to play with an AWP. If he just gets smoked off there, he would much rather have a rifle. But they still are just controlling a good amount of the map. Is Scary going to go for something
Paranoia.
wild here?
Right into the corner. Link just needs to try and survive here. It's hard against the back. Does get taken out. Scream just trying to survive and anchor it down. And they do have that crossfire, the spray. Oh, it's good. And the damage is done.
You know, he's able to just hold his position. This double operator setup, I thought it would be a potential meta-defining thing at Champions. Like, we were talking at Champions, like maybe the double op is what could win Liquid the trophy.
Sure.
Well, they didn't make it. Yes, early on. You're always worried the first time it comes out because that's the most vulnerable portion, when your economy is at its lowest. The more rounds you can win here, the more you're going to be able to rebuy if it does go wrong.
And Berserker, they're forced now in a situation where they're thinking, well, I mean, it would be one thing if we were only dealing with one op player, but having to spot out where both of them are playing.
Yeah.
And look at that, a little pop flash play off the alarm bot, catching onto one of the players, but Scream doesn't really tag too many players. He was just hunting for one of the picks, and that is the collapse.
That's gorgeous. Sure, it's an anti-eco, but Navera's going to take those. Lockdown ready to go. And Scream playing a bit of the aim lab shoot around, I think, over there. Does end up going down, though, and this is going to be a little bit of pressure here onto Navera. Has to dodge the dart.
So deep here.
Soulcast came over to actually help Navera, and that opened Scary up to punish him.
Fox has picked up a Spectre, but he's just running right into the line of sight of Navera. Was looking a little bit iffy against the half buy here. Smoke, okay, Nano Swarm, TP off to the side.
Oh, he spotted him.
To the back of the side, Navera forced to try and lock this one down. He's not really favoured here against the Spectre. Perfect movement though, quick little tap round the corner, the reloads in play in Yampy.
Grabs the rifle to go and help Navera, and then goes back to the op. Sure, that was just a 3v5 in fact.
Right,
yeah, it maybe gets a little closer than you'd even expect, but Team Liquid continue to find success on the defense. And another thing they're doing is continuing their success with first kills, opening kills with a lot of success.
I believe the desk was talking about that as well. And
yeah.
Scream had 9 first bloods.
He had as many first bloods as the whole of Xerxia did, and Xerxia still won.
And this is the problem.
But they can't be losing Surf at the beginning of these rounds so early.
How do you deal with these setups, man?
I mean, smokes, you know, that's where playing Cypher is really useful because you're able to use the cages to take B main control.
Sure.
Sova utility, but I mean, that's a good one
way
too.
to do it. Sure. Bit of disrespect being shown there. Sushi Boy's just right around the corner. Now the lockdown being used in a very deep angle.
Trying to get it in a position where it's much more difficult to wall bang.
The nade's going to be able to find it there.
Just on the edge as well. That frag grenade does less damage the further away it is from the center, but just manages to take out the lockdown here.
Yeah, it's just been kind of staggered out, and now it looks like Liquid are looking for that retake. No command online. Scream going to be getting
flank
pulses here of that suppression, and this flank is critical.
And the alarm bot is not active because Navera is down.
Cruz moving around the corner. This could be massive. The spray down. He quickly resets it. Needs to find a second, but Scream will shut it down anyway. The right click of the knives. Yampy's in backside operator. Not enough to try and bring him down, but luckily the teammates are supporting him, and Liquid. A tight round for them, man. A tight round.
The time was so low as well. You're really wanting more from Cruz in that position. He's in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Can't get that second. And he chooses to swing instead of staying alive.
Scream is 10-2 right now.
He's absolutely farming.
That is unreal, man.
He did get the 4K. on the pistol.
Of course, yeah. And Navera holding it this time, jumping right around the corner.
That's the confidence.
Yeah, has to respect it, and they're already in, dashing over the top. Solkas, he's pulling out his utility, did not expect that kind of speed, that kind of aggression. Quick little res off the back of it. 2 players left standing for Liquid, and this was against the half-buy.
It's all about the pace for Xerxia. What an amazing performance by Surf. Immediately turning his KD around as well. And not just that, but winning his team around. What a decision from the coaching staff of Xerxia there.
I mean, what they were planning, we might not have even seen. They may have just gone into that with the half by saying, okay, we'll go for a quick hit. We'll just disrespect the op on this angle. We'll see what we can get done.
But I definitely think the timing there that Surf is going for is based on what they're reading. Because Liquid fall back into the protocol of Solkas is going to throw Sova utility.
The shock darts.
When Navera drops back. And that means that there is a timing when Navera's running away with an op in his hands. This is where you can really apply the hurt. Because this is an expensive defensive setup.
If you're Xerxia. If you take a couple of these guns out of hands of Liquid, now you're seeing the double-edged sword of this double operator strategy. It really does hurt the bank when things go a bit wrong.
But Surf has actually saved an op from the prior round, and that kind of naturally slows things down.
Dude, look at this. Back-to-back almost. Scream does not have the alarm bot to play a timing off of. He is essentially isolated. He's on an island around this corner.
Can't really go for a flash peek either because he's worried he might get caught with the utility in his hands. He really is here just watching for somebody to overstep.
Hoping he doesn't get cleared, I think.
They know that Yampi's pushed up thanks to the alarm bot. And they get good information here for Scream. Now he can go for a flash peek.
Yep, flash comes through. The coverage is almost there. Not too many players playing that anti-flash situation. Shock dart sent in.
How did he not die to the shot?
I don't know. He is so low.
They get away with murder a little bit there. And Scream uses his knife, actually, in B main, and so that's going to give a timing for Sushi Boys to start taking space. There is only 30 seconds left right now.
30 seconds left.
It could not be a more different tempo compared to round 7.
What do they go for here? It's got to be the B-split. Players are set up for it. They're not really in position to do much else. Running all the way through. That's Link taking out Fox. And 2 of the players in the back of the site. Scream just needs to try and stay alive. Not much time at all available to them, but again, Sushi Boys is good for it. Surf covers the back of it, and the plan will go down.
These picks are extraordinary. Navera trying to retake with an operator right now. Got the lockdown too, but do you really want to invest this?
I don't know,
Is there a rifle for him to take? And look at the aggressive position. I love this post plant. Really smart play by Xerxia. If you go for the lockdown right now, they're going to push you. And instead, it's Navera that goes aggressive and they trade it out. It's a 1v1.
It's the 1v1. Paranoia, he still expects it to be up lane, and it's a perfect swing and reposition from Cruz. Double operators, yeah, it's powerful. But if your opponents find an edge.
And they've actually been able to avoid losing these first picks really often. Look at how Yampi got jiggle peeked there. And then they take forward, really aggressive at taking all of that space as soon as the op misses a shot.